Good morning. Welcome back. Your knowledge and information and questions in our comments are very good. They're heartwarming to me, and they help me think through avenues that I hadn't considered. And it's just all around a great learning process that we're getting to experience. So today will be about Joseph Ryan, Lori Vallow-Daybell's third husband. But I have something. So here's the first dahlia. The colors are washed out a little bit. I think this is day 4. They were very vibrant the first 2 days, but it's still quite a gorgeous flower. So I just had to bring this in to show you. Okay, let's get after it. Also, this will not be an end-all, be-all of everything of Joseph Ryan, because obviously I'm learning and we're all learning together. And if you have any additional information or a correction for me, please write it in the comments. I do read every comment, and I try to respond and give it thought, and it's very valuable to me. I appreciate it. So a lot of the information that I'm referencing actually is from an interview from Jason Lum. And I was holding this here because I don't recall how to pronounce. Jason did an interview with Joe Ryan's attorney, Keith, and I'm going to say Taniguchi, and we'll go with that pronunciation. So let's just start back and do kind of a chronological overview of what happened with Lori Vallow-Daybell's third husband. And also, some of you are interested in Aki. I'm going to have her toward the end of the video. Joseph Ryan was the attorney. Taniguchi worded it as he was an orphan. And I would actually like more information about this. He has a full sister. Her name's Annie Cushin. That is her married name. And from what I gather, they were raised in foster homes. So I'd like to know if it was like one stable foster home, or if they were moved around like so many of our children that grew up without parents. Reminded me of the song that talks about a motherless child and having compassion for that. So that's sort of the backstory. Doesn't have any close family. And he meets Lori, and they are very smitten with each other. One thing that Lori was concerned about was that he drank alcohol, and to become a member of the Church of the Latter-day Saints for Lori, that was very unacceptable. And then the other criteria that Joe had to meet was to become a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Joe Ryan and Lori Vallow married, and together they were raising Colby, which was from her previous marriage. And then they had a child together, which is Tylee. We know a lot about Tylee. So at some point, pretty early on in their marriage, and we don't know the exact circumstances, but Lori decided that she was totally over and not going to have Joe in her life or in Tylee's life. The camera turned off. Okay, that part makes me sad because there are times that mothers will coach, which you already know. I'm not telling you anything brand new. But it's one thing that's upsetting to me when I see, hear about, or learn that a mother has coached their child to claim. YouTube doesn't allow us to use the SA, but she claimed that Tally's father, Joseph, had sexually abused her. So that is a very, it could destroy a man's life, because it's almost like with something like that, people don't view it as, well, they're innocent until proven guilty, because we have a young child involved. So, and she also, from what I can gather, coached Kobe to claim very similar kind of abuse. Now, the court had ordered shared visitations that were supervised. They also ordered that she install cameras into Lori's home, because she and Charles were already married by this time, and he was also in a legal custody battle over his 2 sons. So the court ordered for her to stream cameras inside the home, inside the boys' bedroom, and honestly, I don't recall. I believe there were 3 cameras to kind of prove her credibility, and then also to obtain a letter, someone to recommend her and say, you know, that she's a good mom, and to kind of weed through this situation to keep cameras going off today. I guess I need to wrap this up and not go on so long. But she did comply with that, and then they also ordered a DNA search of Joe Ryan's bed, which investigators spent a lot of time to go over it with a fine-tooth comb. No evidence was ever found. And then Tylee was ordered to be in therapy, and the therapist felt like she was being pushed to say, I just spit everywhere, to say that this happened. And then later, a few years later, she recanted that. And I think that was probably one of the most pressing things and discouraging things you can, that your child can experience in that early part of their life. So, fast forward a little bit. After their divorce and their legal battle over, Joe wanted to see his daughter and be a part of her life. He didn't have family. So Tylee was his family. And at every turn, Lori would move and make it difficult. And okay, we're back, and we'll see if this works. My phone was saying that the internal storage was full. So I deleted a few things. And I'm sorry this one's a little bit longer, but it's a big topic. And I have the reason, I'll go ahead and tell you, that I wanted to talk about the death of Joe Ryan, Lori Vallow's 3rd husband, because I feel like we have enough. I'm going to take these off so I'm not reading, because they're reading glasses. I believe that there's enough evidence to convict Lori on conspiracy to murder Joe Ryan. And we may say, well, what's it going to matter? She's not going to ever walk free. But it does give Joe's sister a some peace to tell his story and to honor the truth. Okay, so let's jump right back into it. There will be a few more parts. There's a part about the attempt on his life, and then we'll discuss his death and wrap it up by, I want to know what your thoughts are. Do you feel like it's important enough at this stage of the game to indict Lori on conspiracy to kill Joe Ryan? So if you want to go ahead and put that in the comments below, I will love to hear how you feel, and I do my best to reply. So, the attempt on his life. The court had ordered supervised visits for Joe to be able to see his daughter, Tylee, because of the claim of SA from Lori Vallow. And these were difficult to arrange, and they had one of the situations was a location for Lori to drop off Tylee in like protective custody arrangement and be supervised for, I think it was maybe a 2-hour visit. I could be wrong on that. Okay, in August of 2007, Joseph Ryan was assaulted by Lori's brother, Alex Cox, that is now deceased, and you probably know that he was designated as their protector, which was actually a hitman to kill people. So, the situation, I'll just kind of wrap it up briefly because my phone storage is still saying I have some issues, but that's neither here nor there. Thank you for allowing me this time to practice and hopefully build back or rehabilitate my speech. So, at a private location that's only known to Lori one day prior to Joseph Ryan's time with Tylee, Alex assaulted Joe. And I know it's very complicated, but Alex served, he was by the court charged and ordered to serve 1 year in prison for the assault. But he actually only served 3 months. So the story behind it from the records that are revealed is that he used a taser, and he actually did tase Joe Ryan, and Joe spent 3 days in the hospital after that event, and the plan was to tase him, to roll him up in tarp, and take him out to a location outside of town and shoot him. So the conspiracy is pretty well documented. Let me think. Wow. Okay, so later Joe Ryan dies, and it's not after, he goes through a long battle with trying to spend time with his daughter, Tylee Ryan, and he actually kind of falls on some financially difficult times, and moved in with his attorney. The attorney helped him kind of try to get back on his feet. And he said at that time Joe was drinking quite a lot and using that as some coping mechanism to help him just deal with the pain of not being able to be with his daughter, to have a part in her life, his only child. And so he later dies. Now, if I understand it correctly, he died and his body was found a few days later when a neighbor reported a really strange smell, and they said there were flies like around the door. And so the maintenance person, I'm sorry, I don't know exactly what that position entails at this moment, that found him, realized that his door was deadlocked from the inside. So that would set up the situation to think, oh, okay, well, if someone murdered him, they couldn't deadlock the door from inside, typically. But the interesting part is they were able to go in through the window, and the theory is that someone may have gosh, what are the words for that? There I go. Okay, my theory is, let's just go to that, is that Alex or Lori may have met up with Joe, and I would speculate using something as simple as Visine eye drops to put into a drink and then leave later. And then they could have definitely come back to go inside, lock to the deadlock, and go out through the window. So that's just honestly speculation. But I did want to highlight this because I feel like it's important to talk about the early warning signs of Lori Vallow-Daybell's path to murder her 2 remaining children. And then it's sad to think that she had a hand in Joseph Ryan's murder. But the signs are looking like that's a real possibility. And also it gives us as a community the information to see that these things don't just start out of the blue. All of a sudden, a parent murders a child. There's usually some early warning signs, backstories, and you can see that the thinking is veering way off of what normal, loving parents would typically do in their life to make sure that their children grow up well, not just nourished, but emotionally supported and intellectually challenged to be able to think through concepts and ideas in an effort to help them start an adult life. So those things, in my opinion, they don't just happen. And we'll talk more, and I'm looking forward to seeing your comments. And I'll take a moment to let you see Aki. She got nervous. She's nervous with the lights, and we'll get to a point, I think, that she can be a part of our discussions. At this point, she's a bit nervous. Okay, guys, thank you. We'll see you next time. What I got for you? You want some water? You want some bread? You're looking at the camera. Here, let's see what we got here. You turning your back. You turn your back to the camera, huh? It's okay. Yummy. Can I eat a cashew too? Whoops. Did you drop it? Oh, here, get on my hand. Yeah, we'll get you some water.